ब्रह्मचर्यव्रती दंडी सर्ववेदांत पंडित श्रीमद्विवेकयोगी मां प्रचोदयतु सर्वदा. I always refer to the Bhakti Yoga step of Viveka Sopana as a most magnificent step. Really, there is nothing more beautiful than Bhakti. Bhakti can change our way of looking at the world, looking at the people, looking at the environment. Everything can be transformed into a divine play when our inner capacity to love is transformed into divine love. It's a fantastic transformation. So I call it as the magnificent step. And the principle is the same, whether it is in karma, bhakti or jnana or everywhere. Our rishis found out the fundamental mistake that we make is our way of looking at ourselves and our interactions with the world outside. So, the I, the ego, is a culprit which stands between me and the Lord. So, in some way or other, we have to get rid of it. So, in Karma Yoga, I, mine, etc. got eliminated by raising karma into a yajna, into a nishkama karma, where there are no more any desires to be fulfilled by the karma. So the karma gets naturally elevated into yajna, and yajna automatically is worthy of divine blessings. So nishkama karma can bring lot of blessings into our lives. That is the advantage of nishkama karma. We have learned to tune up the strings of our mind, which were losing its fineness because they were all having a deposit: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, malsarya. These were the deposits which had taken out the fineness of the strings of our heart. And by the technique of positivizing them, taking them turned towards godly love, we have seen quantity of our thoughts, quality of our thoughts, direction of our thoughts. When we change them, they become very, very beautiful strings once again. They can give us the beautiful music of divine love. That is what our great seers have discovered. It is there in our own mind. The capacity to love is a universal phenomenon. But unfortunately, it is loaded today with our ego and egocentric notions, egocentric motivations, egocentric desires. So, slowly but steadily, if we can remove them from them, then they themselves will become our instruments to approach God and get into His good looks, so to say, or be worthy of the blessings of the Lord. And when we remove those encrustations from our strings in the mind, automatically there's a capacity to expand, that is, they become so fine-tuned that from them alone will come the music of love, adoration, surrender and whatnot to the Lord. So, nobody else from outside can do that. We will have to do it ourselves. Each and every emotion reveals its potential to positivize itself, helping the soul move towards God. That is what we have seen. Kama to be made into love of God, like that we have already seen them. So, this capacity to love has to be recharged with a new idea of loving God and the creations. That is how we have to transform our capacity to love into a bhakti yoga. Yoga, as we have seen, is getting merged into the divinity. So, for this they have given us the Ishtadevata, Sankalpa, etc. And what glorious idols, symbols they have given. Wonderful, innumerable, really countless are the symbols which we find in India. In our Indian spiritual heritage, infinite are the symbols which they have positivized like that. See, take for example, our heart itself is symbolized like a lotus. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. That is a word we have to keep our idol of God, our thoughts of God. We have to give it a place to sit there. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. Make your heart into a lotus. Why a lotus? Because lotus is again a beautiful symbol. Where does it grow? In the slushy, muddy waters of the lake, which are so impure. It is not at all good waters, the slushy, muddy mud of the lake. But as the lotus starts growing, it is in the form of a mud. Nothing can hurt it. And then it comes out, and then it opens up to the grace of the sun. The sun's rays touch on it, and the flower wakes up. Similarly, these thoughts of love are coming out from the slushy, muddy mind of ours, where, as we have seen, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, etc., they have been accumulating there. We don't know how many births we have been holding on to them. They were getting deposited. In every birth, they were getting deposited, becoming thicker and thicker. But even then, when the thought of God arises in our mind, the lotus starts coming out. See? So beautiful, isn't it? The lotus starts coming out through the waters, which are not as impure as a slushy, muddy thing. But our capacity to think, capacity to imagine, capacity to conceive of God, that is the water through which the lotus will come up. And when it comes out, then it is exposed to, no, I won't give myself to anybody. No, it gets exposed to the universal light of the sun. It is available for all the bees to come and sit on it. It is available for any human being to pluck it, take it, give it to home, take it to the temple, anywhere. And it has got its own fragrance, the fragrance of the lotus, the kesara of the lotus. Everything is so beautiful. And we can't even count the number of petals in a lotus. So, We cannot think in how many ways we can think of God. No, we cannot. Anybody can. Rujainam Vaichitriyad, as Swamiji put it in the Parliament of Religions. Rujainam Vaichitriyad. Whichever way you want to think of God, in that way you can think of it. So, our forefathers, along with bhakti, have given us so much to think about, so much to contemplate, so much to be expressive about.